We are in Columbia, Missouri tonight for a matchup between Division I and Division II as Emporia State comes across the border to face the Missouri Tigers. And welcome courtside at Norm Stewart Court along with the former two-time Big 12 champion Jarrett Sutton. I'm Ben Arnett. Big news for Missouri tonight. They are once again without preseason All-American Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, no Michael Porter Jr. for Missouri, so who's going to step up in his absence tonight? Missouri lost at Utah on Thursday, so they're going to have somebody step up tonight.
That somebody could be Jordan Barnett, the senior out of St. Louis, off to a scorching start in his final season at Mizzou.
Yeah, he led Mizzou in scoring a year ago. He's a versatile two-way player that can get to the rim and he can shoot it. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen once he gets out in transition, but he's got to be aggressive. This is a new role for him this year, one that I think he can flourish in. With Michael Porter Jr. on the bench, he's got to look for a shot often tonight. And you look at the consistency from last year to this year, 43% from the field, but he's 1 for 8 from 3 in his last 2 games. He's got to find consistency from behind the arc. He's an important piece of this basketball team, not just tonight, but moving forward into this SEC play as well coming up.
Barnett in the starting lineup tonight, as you would expect. Again, Michael Porter Jr. not in uniform, not in the building tonight, as he has left Columbia to go see a specialist regarding his leg injury, and we'll talk more about that as we go through the broadcast tonight. The series history between these two is a short one, and it goes back a long ways. They haven't met since 1910. The first meeting between the two was the first season in the history of Mizzou basketball, and the president was William H. Taft.
Just a little while ago.
You know, what's a few years when you're talking about a century between meetings between the Tigers and the Hornets. Cuonzo Martin, the head coach of the Missouri Tigers tonight. A bit of a change to his lineup, and we'll tell you more about that in a moment as well.
For Coach Martin, the jacket comes off right before the tip.
It will be Jeremiah Tillman jumping center for Missouri against Hassan Thomas for Emporia State. And Missouri wins the tip. Interesting note about this one, Missouri Division I team, Emporia State Division II team. It's an exhibition for Emporia State. It counts against Missouri's record as the Tigers start Jordan Geist tonight, his first start of the season, joining Cassius Robertson, Barnett, Jeremiah Tillman, and Kevin Puryear.
Jordan Geist has given them good minutes off the bench. He earns a spot to start tonight.
And put right in there by Tillman. Here's the lineup for the Emporia State Hornets. Brian Morton, Stefan Leimel, Brandon Hall coming off a 21-point game in the victory over Drury last time out, along with Shell and Thomas for Emporia State, who will try to hold their own. Coming up from Emporia, Kansas, a 3.5 to 4 hour bus ride for these guys earlier today to get here to Como. Long range shot, no good from Morton.
Great on-ball defense there from Missouri. They're 5th in the SEC in field goal percentage defense. Big improvement for Cuonzo Martin.
Here's Cassius Robertson. On the block down low to Puryear. Missouri with a distinct height advantage across the line tonight. And Puryear draws a foul. So Puryear will go to the line. Head coach of the Emporia State Hornets is Sean Vandiver, former Colorado Buffalo. Made several trips to Columbia, Missouri in the old Hearn Center as he was the Big 8 Newcomer of the Year back in 1989. So longtime Missouri fans will probably say, I recognize that guy.
Good memories playing against Missouri. We talked about that with him in the call this week, talking about his days playing against Norm Stewart. It's not a great story that doesn't involve Norm Stewart, right?
Yeah, he said he didn't have a ton of great memories. That was kind of the height of Coach Stewart's powers back in the late 80s, early 90s, and Colorado was a building program at that time. Going up against the likes of Doug Smith. Missouri off to a 4-0 lead here this evening.
Great defense, too, by Jeremiah Tillman. Played with his hands wide base with his feet. Didn't foul, just played straight up. Has to be smart on the defensive end, not picking up cheap fouls.
Jordan Geist bringing it up. Missouri has a plethora of guards on this roster. They're still trying to get all of the roles figured out. Geist getting the start tonight and running the point, but Cassius Robertson also capable of running the show as Tillman is collapsed upon and fouled by Hassan Thomas.
One of the things with Jordan Geis, he takes care of the basketball, rarely turns it over, makes good decisions. And you want Cassius Robertson off the ball. He's a great shooter. He can play the point guard position. He can handle it. But where he's most comfortable is shooting the basketball within their offense, too, coming off screens.
Inbounded to a wide-open Kevin Puryear, and he'll have an and one chance.
And speaking of screens, Cassius Robertson sets a great screen to free up Kevin Puryear off the inbounds. Missouri trying to go inside early, trying to win that paint. That's a great screen. Hold the screen, nothing illegal. And Kevin Puryear with the strong hand and finish. Something Kevin Puryear has had to improve upon is finishing through contact. He does it right there.
Already 4 points under his belt in the early going and looking for number 5 here. And he's got it.
It's a big piece of his game, too, that he's improved, is the release. High follow through on the free throw.
Emporia State calls a timeout, already down 7-0. And they are going to regroup. Conzo Martin in his first season as the head coach at the University of Missouri, his 10th year as an NCAA head coach. Of course, that started down the road at Springfield at Missouri State. And he's got an interesting mix to figure out this year. All the newcomers, all the freshmen that people know about, the returners, and it's all about figuring out those roles here in the early part of the season.
Yeah, he's a first-year head coach, and this is a new team. Yes, there are returners, but you got a top recruiting class coming in. You got young players, and young players that have won at the high school level, but it takes a lot to win at the college level. That's something that Coach Martin and his staff has stressed to this team, is it's hard to win in college basketball. It's hard to win on the road. They figured that out on Thursday at Utah. So, again, season's a marathon, not a sprint. You got to learn through every experience. I know that they'll learn from Thursday at Utah.
Off to a good start here against Emporia State. Hornets coming out of the timeout, trying to regroup, get on the scoreboard as they trail 7-0. Into the ball game, Grant Shell dishes, the drive, the finish, and an and one chance coming for Hassan Thomas.
Good attack and beat Kevin Puryear off the bounce. Kevin Puryear came out, got to chop his feet just a little more. Was a little too vertical. The low man always wins. I get you a three-point play.
And if you're Sean Vandiver, that's what you had to see from your team coming out of the timeout. Good, solid offensive possession, points on the board.
And you want to put some ball pressure, too, on Missouri. Don't let them walk into their early offense, force pressure, maybe force some turnovers.
Jordan Barnett to Kevin Puryear, quick ball movement, and Robertson off the mark on his first three-point attempt of the night, out of bounds off of Tillman, and Emporia State will get it back. When we talked to Coach Vandiver earlier this week, I mean, he understands this is what happens when you have a Division II team on the road at a Power 5 school in D1. He said, you know, first things first, do not let Missouri just impose their will upon you.
Yeah, and it just starts with work ethic. You can't come in here and play afraid. You got to keep your foot on the gas. You got to play tough. You got to play hard. And you learn a lot about it yourself as well on the defensive end when you go up against better athletes, by more talented guys. Make no mistake about it, his team will come in here and they're going to fight for 40 minutes.
Jordan Barnett, quick feed to Tillman, the freshman from East St. Louis, backing down, out to Geis for three. Right into the hands of Kevin Puryear. Tillman loses control, and it's stolen away by Emporia State. Missouri got off to a cold shooting start in Utah the other day, and they're not exactly off to a hot start here against the Hornets as Emporia State closes the gap to just 2.
And that can't happen if you're Jordan Geis. You're the point guard. You got to stop the ball at half court. Got to stop dribble penetration. That's a straight line drive and a bucket.
Brandon Hall makes it a 2-point game. And a foul call that's going to go against Jawan Emery, who just checked into the contest a few moments ago, and he picks up his first foul.
And that's a quick substitution, and Conzo Martin's going to talk to Jordan Geist about that. You got to stop the basketball. Blake Harris will enter the game here. Blake Harris, underrated part of his game. He's one of the best on-ball defensive players as a freshman that will play in the SEC this year. His feet move. They're constantly shifting laterally. Never gets crossed up. Really good active on-ball defender.
Part of that top 5 recruiting class that has joined Mizzou this year. Jordan Barnett, no good, off the back iron. And Harris, just into the ball game, picks up a quick foul.
On cue, freshman got to be smart. That's a bad foul from Blake Harris. He's trying to crash the offensive glass. It's a good idea, but he takes himself out of position and gets a cheap foul. Just got into the ball game.
You see Harris, a top 100 recruit, along with Jeremiah Tillman, Jonte Porter, and Michael Porter Jr. Brandon Hall, the leading scorer for Emporia State, gives it up. Drive and floater high off glass rattles out from Brian Morton, and a foul called on Missouri on the rebound. Back to that recruiting class. This is what Cuonzo Martin is trying to build upon this year and beyond in his first season as the head coach at Mizzou.
Yeah, good young players. You want Michael Porter to be 100% healthy when he gets back. But you look at Jonte and Jeremiah and Blake, all these guys have made good contributions. They've shown good signs through 3 games.
C.J. Roberts was the last name on that list, and he is redshirting this season as Mizzou not only tries to bounce back from 3 subpar seasons the last few years this year, but also build the foundation for the future of the program under Cuonzo Martin. Cassius Robertson down low to Jeremiah Tillman. Nice one-bounce jump hook. And you see the raw skills of the freshman.
He's so skilled from a footwork standpoint. That's something that I think is ahead of schedule. Coming in, Jeremiah Tillman, a great athlete. You understand the upside with him and the potential, but the footwork, he's changed his body as well since he arrived on campus.
Hall is fouled on the drive. And that will take us to our first break of the night. Missouri 9, Emporia State 5, early going in Columbia. Missouri with a 4-point lead in the early going. Michael Porter Jr. once again not in the lineup tonight, out with injury. And Jarrett, you know, we talk about Mizzou trying to find roles for people. That's difficult when you're missing one of your major pieces early in the year.
Absolutely. So Michael Porter Jr. has the injury, and you don't want it to be something that continues to nag him come January and February. So you want to address it now and get it resolved.
Here is the statement from the Mizzou Athletic Department earlier today regarding Porter, who is not in the building tonight. Quote, Mizzou men's basketball freshman Michael Porter Jr. will not be available for tonight's game. Porter will not be able to attend tonight's game as he has an appointment with a specialist. So as you mentioned, Jarrett, trying to make sure every single box is checked. There's his father, assistant coach Michael Porter Sr., as they try to make sure his health is being taken care of in the best ways possible.
Anytime you have something that's nagging, and it doesn't look like it's going to be anything substantial or serious with Michael, but you want to address it right now. It is November. There's still a long season ahead of you. You know Michael's going to be not just the best player on this team, but one of the best players in the conference. So you've got to get him healthy, got to get him ready for when the SEC juggernaut hits.
Missouri with a 4-point lead here as Emporia State tries to cut it down even more. And a nice drive and finish by Dewan Emery makes it a 2-point game.
Good finish, too. Euro step, gets to the strong right hand. Missouri's got to cut that off.
Terrence Phillips into the game for the first time, gives it up to Cassius Robertson. There's Reed Nicko. Tigers brought in 4 new players coming out of that break. Cullen Van Leer is one of them. Reed Nicko another as it's stolen away. Jonte Porter also on the floor for the first time tonight as the Hornets run in transition. Kicked out to Shell for 3. Off the front iron. Reed Nicko right there on the glass. Missouri with 5 players on this roster. 4 of them available tonight, 6'10" or taller. Tallest Emporia State Hornet is 6'8".
Yeah, you want to use your size and your athletic ability. Missouri loves to go inside. Good attack there from Cullen Van Leer. Missouri offense is predicated off side ball screens, high pick and rolls, and really want to go high-low. They want to get the ball inside, and with that, you got to be smart with your passes. Terrence Phillips cannot force that pass. He has to look at the weak side defender because steals like that when you're trying to enter the post can happen.
Cullen Van Leer to the foul line. He's the first one to rattle out. Jordan Barnett back into the game for Missouri, replacing Cassius Robertson. And an uncharacteristic pair of missed free throws from Cullen Van Leer.
Yeah, rare to see him miss free throws. First thing you look to is the confidence, a little nervous coming out, starting out. Got to gather yourself, take a deep breath, and relax yourself.
Fort in the corner, the fake, the drive, and swatted by Nicko. Missouri's got numbers if they run. Emporia State able to catch up, but Van Leer, the trailer, knocks down the 3.
There you go, in rhythm. Good pass from Terrence Phillips. And make no mistake about it, Missouri is going to be at their best offensively when they push the ball in transition. That's where they were at their best a year ago. That is the same team this year. They got speed, they can get out and run, and they can find shooters.
Fort looking to go down low to Emery. Gives it up to Malik Kulacheweki. Find an open man down low, and a foul called on Duncan Fort, going to the foul line now. Missouri defense leading to offense.
Yeah, and this is a great block by Reed Nicko. Just stay solid, Second man to leave your feet, straight up, straight down, and then the pass to Terrence Phillips. Again, that's a block shot. It's a live block shot. You don't block the ball out of bounds. You keep the ball in play. Terrence takes the ball down and finds Colin Van Leer in transition. That's good early offense.
First of 2 free throws knocked down by Duncan Fort, redshirt freshman.
One of the big pieces, too, with Colin Van Leer is shooting the basketball in rhythm. Don't rush your shot. Get your feet under you, one catch, get that right foot swung around quicker, and get that release off with a high release. Quick release, Colin's got a quick release, but sometimes he overthinks it. That's a big piece of his confidence.
3-point game here. Jordan Barnett down low for Porter. One-on-one chance, and he just drops it in.
And that's where that length plays a factor. Porter catches the ball inside. He keeps that ball high. He's got the size, turn, soft with a strong hand.
Jontay Porter is such a calm player.
And for a young kid, again, this is going to be a growing up experience for him. He's got to grow up quick. He reclassifies. He's very skilled. He's still going to grow into his body. He's still developing, but the skill set is there.
Just turned 18 last week. Offensive rebound by Emporia State. A runner is good. A little teardrop from Jack Dale.
Right now, Emporia State got to keep attacking the paint. That's where their offense has been.
Missouri attacks the other way in the bucket for Van Leer.
And then again, it's transition. It's passing ahead. It's Terrence Phillips looking, keeping the vision up, eyes up ahead of the floor. And Colin Van Leer doing a nice job at attacking the rim. He's got the size, he's got the first step, and he gets to the glass.
Danny Hodge guarded closely.
Great defense by Jordan Barnett.
All over him. Emory now with under 10 to shoot. And it's swatted away. It'll stay with Emporia State with 8 on the shot clock.
And Ben, that's what we talk about too with the length. Jordan Barnett, 6'7", really long arms. A lot of these guys can really defend and get out in passing lanes, jump passes. Michael Porter Jr. is really good at that. But Jordan Barnett doing a great job, active on-ball pressure. That's something Konzo Martin stresses with this team. He's got athletes, so pressure the basketball, speed teams up.
Malik Kulachawecki looking to inbound. Not a lot of time here for Emporia State. Hassan Thomas with 5, drives on Puryear. Cut off. And blocked by Jeremiah Tillman to force the shot clock violation.
Ben, we've already seen Jeremiah Tillman make the adjustment. He got in foul trouble, fouled out quickly against Utah. Right here, you see him, look, closes out, doesn't try to be overly aggressive, and just keeps that right hand high. Even on the low block early on, he has stayed high and not fouled.
Look at the quick moves of Blake Harris.
Explosive, very fast with the basketball, creative too, can get to the rim. It's going to be a playmaker for years to come for Missouri.
The speed, pretty much everything he does is what Missouri coaches have praised since he joined this Missouri team over the summer.
And he's going to earn minutes by playing solid defense.
Ford kicks it out. Jack Dale, late in the shot clock again, tries to force it. Good defense by Missouri.
Again, Jeremiah Tillman doing a great job not picking up cheap fouls, playing smart.
Quick ball movement, but an errant pass out of the reach of Kevin Puryear. That'll turn it over back to Emporia State. Missouri has widened their lead. It's a 7-point advantage for Konzo Martin's team as we go to break on the SEC Network. Early going in Columbia, 18-11 the lead for the Missouri Tigers, and the freshman from East St. Louis, Jeremiah Tillman, off to a good start tonight.
Yeah, he's off to a good start, and we touched on earlier about the footwork of Jeremiah Tillman offensively. He gets low, good post up. He's a beast inside. You got to want the ball, and you got to demand the ball, and he's a good finisher around the rim and through contact. And defensively, too, I want to see him take that footwork and apply it to the defensive end. He's picked up 10 fouls in the last 2 games, just playing 16 minutes, but he played 25 against Iowa State and had 14 and 7 and was very efficient. So for him and for Missouri, he's got to stay on the floor, and he's got to be smart on the defensive end. That starts with moving your feet and playing with your hands.
4 points, 2 rebounds, a block, and most importantly, perhaps, for the freshman, 0 fouls in the first 8.5 minutes of this game.
And you see those fouls against Wagner and against Utah. It's just him being physical and being aggressive. You love that about Jeremiah Tillman. He's a workhorse. He's got a high motor, but he's got to start playing smart. That's the adjustment you make as a freshman. You know you're talented. You know you're strong. You can demand the post and demand the block, but you got to be smart on the defensive end and not pick up cheap ones. Play smart.
Emporia State trying to hang around. Missouri's defense forcing them late in the shot clock the last few possessions. The 3 no good from Duncan Fort, and Missouri with a chance to expand their lead. Quick ball movement around the perimeter. Here's Kevin Puryear. Trying to take his man one-on-one, lost it, but got it back. Jordan Barnett, a little one-on-one chance for him. The step back.
And that possession died for Missouri because the ball stuck with Kevin Puryear. Make that extra pass, keep that ball moving.
Down low, and another block for Tillman, his second of the night. Swatted Hassan Thomas that time. And Missouri will end up with the basketball here.
Jeremiah Tillman does a great job coming from the weak side. See how his hands are up and wide. Same with Blake Harris. That's solid. You're moving your feet, you're not giving up ground. And then Jeremiah Tillman with a great opportunity block right there coming from the weak side. It's good defense.
2 blocks to go along with his 4 points. Missouri shooting very well. 7 for 12 from the field as we speak. Harris, the driving kick. Swung around for an open look for Van Leer. Tillman grabbed the rebound even while being hooked. And a foul is called on Juwan Emery.
And again, that's that presence that Jeremiah Tillman brings. Emporia State trying to block him out, but he's just so strong. He gets that wide base. Really good on the glass. Can be a great offensive rebounder and an even better rim protector as well on the defensive end.
Good on the free throw.
But again, Ben, that play is all Blake Harris. He takes the ball in transition, beats his man off the dribble with that quick hesitation dribble, finds Puryear, that swings over to Colin Van Leer, and an offensive rebound for Jeremiah Tillman.
Brandon Hall bringing up the ball for Emporia State, the leading scorer for the Hornets. Has yet to get going here in the first half of this game. Ulicheweki the drive, and he draws a foul. And that might be the first of the night on Tillman. It is. So Tillman will take a rest, and Jonte Porter checks back in. 6th team foul on Missouri, so a 1-and-1 opportunity is looming for Emporia State.
And if I'm Brandon Hall, I'm attacking the rim. He's led Emporia State in scoring against Drury on Saturday. Had 21 points, but he was 11 of 15 from the free throw line. He's a really good free throw shooter.
Hall, no good. Rebound pulled in by Missouri, and Cassius Robertson leads the break. Barnett, baseline drive, kind of got caught underneath the basket and gets fouled. Now he stepped out.
And if I'm Jordan Barnett, I shoot the first one. He had a good catch, had a clean look. He's got a quick release, try to put the ball on the floor, steps out of bounds.
Rough start, 0 for 2 from the field so far for Jordan Barnett.
For Jordan, it's just getting into the flow of the offense. He's had good games. He's started fast. He's been aggressive. He's took the opportunities, and he's run in transition. He's played a big role playing above the rim when point guards find him.
No over and back as Missouri deflected that basketball into the backcourt. Once again, defending late into the shot clock. Under 10 to shoot for Emporia State. Hall, guarded by Harris, has it poked away. Cassius Robertson the other direction. Missouri hasn't scored a field goal in over 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Jonte Porter unable to end that spell.
It's a good shot, though, for Jonte. His feet were set. He's wide open. He'll knock that down.
Emery against Porter. Spins to the middle. Blocked by the long-arm freshman. Loose ball tracked down by Emporia State. Hall in and out from 3. And Porter fouled this time by Emery.
Great minutes right there from Jonte Porter. About 3 possessions that he impacted on the defensive end. Misses a shot on the offensive end, but comes right back. Gets a big blocked shot.
That is Emery's 3rd foul. One of the biggest post presences for Emporia State is already in foul trouble. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity at the foul line for Jonte Porter. Missouri is now 4 for 8 from the foul line as a team.
Again, it's these straight line drives. That's going to be a foul on Terrence Phillips. That should have been Cassius Robertson stepping in, trying to stop the ball or take a charge. Got to stop the basketball. Full speed ahead. Terrence can't stop the ball, can't get ahead of the ball and beat his man to the spot. So you got to get help defense.
First one is good from Brian Morton.
For Emporia State, not that great of a three-point shooting team, but they want to attack, they want to get into the paint, they can finish, and they can shoot free throws.
Morton knocks down a pair. And Missouri unable to pull away from Emporia State here in the first half. It's a 6-point game.
It's a smart adjustment for Emporia State. Going zone, trying to see if Missouri can beat you from the three-point line.
Missouri's missed their last 3 field goals. And the foul called on the offensive end. It's going to go against Jonte Porter.
Yeah, illegal screen on the low block. They're trying to run a design play to free up Terrence Phillips for a skip past 3. And Jeremiah Tillman's got to keep his feet set. He's moving too much. Instead of just going and setting the screen and staying solid, he moves his feet. It's an easy call.
Tillman replaces Porter. Brian Morton in his 2nd season with Emporia State, a junior college transfer. Pass off the hands of Isaac McCullough. Now it's Hall. It's a screen, gives it up. Now they feed down low, out of the reach of Stephon Lymel, and Missouri will get it back.
If I'm Jack Dale, I'll make that pass a little easier. I make 2 or 3 hard dribbles to the baseline. Make that pass easier.
Baseline for Jeremiah Tillman. Van Leer drives and has it knocked away. Stolen by Emporia State. A couple players ahead. Driving to the basket and drawing the foul is Brian Morton. And he went down hard. That will take us to our next break. 7 minutes, 45 seconds to play in the first half. Emporia State within 6 of Missouri. Holiday border showdown of sorts tonight between Missouri and the Emporia State Hornets, coming over from Emporia, Kansas. This is a trip I've done several times on the way to see my wife's family in Wichita. Emporia, Kansas, an enrollment just under 6,000 out of the MIAA in Division II.
It's a pretty drive.
What you're going to want to do, Jared, is you're going to want to take 70 west to Kansas City, cut through the metro on 470, hook up with 435 to 35, take that, then you're going to hit the turnpike right at Emporia.
Impressive.
Yep.
Impressive.
Done it a few times. Sean Vandiver, the former Colorado Buffalo. He has been to Columbia many times, though a first trip to this building, it was the Hearn Center back in his playing days in the old Big 8 Conference.
And he's got to be happy that his ball club's shooting 22% from the field, and they're still within 5 of Missouri in the first half.
Dreadful shooting night for Emporia State, but they are within 5. They'll take it. Missouri shooting well, 7 of 14, though they are on a cold stretch offensively. Jeremiah Tillman says, let me break that with a heat wave.
Look how he keeps the ball high, and that's a center and a presence Missouri hasn't had in some time. Forward-to-forward passing, important. Kevin Purr hits Tillman, and Tillman keeps that ball high, goes up and dunks it.
First field goal for Missouri in about 4 minutes of game time. See if Emporia State can answer. Hall, the pull-up. Rebound by Lymel. Stolen right away by Cassius Robertson. You can't have that if you're Emporia State. They're already facing tough enough odds on the board. You get an offensive rebound, you can't give it away like that.
Can't give it away. You got to get a shot, and it's an errant pass. Good defense, though, from Robertson to come from the weak side.
Cullen Van Leer, no good from 3. Tapped out by Puryear. Right into the visitors' bench. Jeremiah Tillman getting things going for Missouri.
Yeah, Emporia State switched. They went 2-3 zone, and to beat a zone, you got to send it forward to the high post. Always have to have somebody at the high post. Make that pass easier for a guard, and then great look from Puryear, keeping it high, finding Tillman, and explosive to the rim is Jeremiah Tillman.
Still just a 7-point game here in Columbia. Grant Shell gives it up to Lymel. Brian Morton. Missouri really active defensively.
And out in passing lanes as well.
Poked away by Tillman. It'll stay with Emporia State, but they've only got 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
And when you're active defensively, when you're out in passing lanes, when you have active ball pressure, it makes passes very difficult. And for Emporia State, they've had trouble post-entry, making even passes to wings because Missouri's pressure has been there.
Lobbed into Lymel. 3 coming, and it splashes down for Brian Morton. These Hornets are not going to go away.
First 3 of the ball game. 0 for 7 before that. They needed 1 to fall.
Swung around to Jordan Barnett. In the middle for Tillman. Back out to Barnett.
Tillman's got to look opposite right there. Can't throw the ball back to where it came from.
In the middle for Puryear. The short jumper rattles out. 50-50 ball. Geist comes away with it. Quick pass to Barnett. Mid-air adjustment. It's Tillman going up strong.
Great pass by Jordan Geist. Barnett unable to finish. But Jeremiah Tillman just hanging around that rim. Quick hands, able to get that basketball and finish hot.
9 now for Tillman. He's a perfect 4 for 4 from the field. And only 1 foul as he's staying in the game, not getting in foul trouble. Swung around to Lymel. He'll have an open look and buries it.
Once you see 1 fall, that can really open you up, especially on the road.
It is a 3-point game. Cassius Robertson gives it up, gets it back. They feed Tillman. He's in trouble along the out-of-bounds line. Finds Robertson, under 10 to shoot. Nice pass down low to Puryear. He's unable to score.
Good defense from Emporia State. 2-3 zone, but they pressured the basketball and they made that opposite pass more difficult for Missouri that possession.
Brian Morton gives it up to Hall. Brandon Hall just 2 points in the first half, trying to add to that. He kicks it out. 3 for the tie, and it is down from Isaac McCullough.
Great extra pass, and right now Emporia State has the momentum. The energy is sucked out of this building. Crowd trying to get the Tigers back into it.
Who would have thought this game would be tied with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the first half? Puryear. Geist off the mark, and Emporia State can take its first lead here. Hall driving all the way to the hoop. A rebound by Puryear, and Missouri will go fast. Robertson. Barnett an open look. Long. Missouri will get a second chance. Robertson from straight away. Missouri can't buy a bucket right now. Geist cut off in the middle of the paint, and Robertson will reset.
It's a veteran play right there by Robertson. You took 2 threes. You're a little bit out of sorts. Run your offense.
Tillman has it poked away.
It's good hands defensively. Emporia State has hit their last 3 3-point shots.
Grant Shell misses that one. Tigers have numbers if they run. Robertson has it knocked away. All alone. Lymel, and the Hornets have the lead.
Not a good foul there from Jeremiah Tillman either. It's an easy dunk. Ball goes through the rim, and then you pick up a foul. Just not smart.
That will take us to our next break. Emporia State, unfazed by the environment on the road. They have the lead on the Missouri Tigers, 25-23, as we head down the stretch in the first half. Emporia State, they're doing more than staying in this one. They've got a 2-point lead with 3 minutes and 13 seconds to play in the first half. Sean Vandiver certainly coaching them up here tonight. His 7th season at Emporia State at the Division II level, under 500 overall. But the former Colorado Buffalo certainly knows about big game environments from his playing career.
Yeah, and this team went to Iowa State in an exhibition game and played Iowa State tough. They only lost by 9, and they got the momentum right now. They're playing with a ton of confidence. They've knocked down 3 3-point shots here in the last 4 or 5 minutes, so they're starting to shoot it better from the outside. Their offense early on in the game was just trying to get to the rim, trying to get to the free throw line. Once you see that ball go through the net from the outside, you start to build that confidence, and if you're on the road and you're in the game, especially in an environment like Mizzou Arena, you start to believe. So for Missouri, this is a big problem when you got Emporia State with the lead late in the first half.
That foul right before he went to break went against Jeremiah Tillman, his second, and it gives Stephon Lymel a chance to complete a three-point play, which he does.
Let's see if Missouri makes adjustments on the offensive end. We've seen Emporia State run the 2-3 zone. They're showing 2-3 zone here. Got to beat it with the pass and get somebody at the high post.
Terrence Phillips and Jordan Barnett gets it right back. They play catch on the perimeter. Cassius Robertson. It's also Puryear and Jonte Porter in there for Missouri. Quick pass to Puryear. Double team comes. Puryear gets to the basket. A much needed hoop for Missouri. Snaps a 2-minute and 30-second long scoring drought.
And much better ball movement. They were patient. Good vision from Jordan Barnett to find Puryear on the low block, and a good finish from Puryear.
He's got 7 now. The drive and finish, though, for Emporia State. Danny Hodge puts the lead back to 3 for the Hornets. Jonte Porter double teamed, almost trapped in the corner. Jordan Barnett, boy, that will drive you nuts as a shooter, although Missouri will get it right back. How many in and out for Missouri the last few minutes?
Yeah, they're 1-11 from 3, so Emporia State's going to stay in this zone until Missouri shows they can knock down the outside shot. The only 3 for Missouri has come from Colin Van Leer, and it was in transition. So right now, Emporia State just trying to take away the paint from Missouri. Got to be patient, got to look for opportunities at the rim, but you're going to have to see one fall.
Missouri started the game 7 for 11 from the field. They're 3 for their last 14. Make it 15, although an offensive rebound. Cassius Robertson out to Barnett. Missouri trying to attack a little bit more, but they turn it over.
Missouri's impatient right there. They're trying to go get it. Jordan Barnett's trying to attack. Active hands. It's another steal.
9th turnover of the half on Missouri, but they get it right back on the offensive foul by Emporia State.
For Missouri, it's just the frustration that comes from the zone. You're not seeing the ball go through the net from the outside, but you got to keep moving the basketball, make the extra pass, believe in your offense, and stay confident and stay aggressive.
Tigers have used 10 different players in this first half. Cassius Robertson, no good. Porter, the rebound, and he is fouled down low by Grant Shell. He's only given up about 8 inches on that matchup.
And with long shots come long rebounds. Missouri has shot the 3-point shot here over the last few possessions. So with that, offensive rebounds are going to be there. So if I'm Jonte Porter or if I'm Jordan Barnett, I'm going to the glass.
Free throw for Porter. Missouri's got 3 players here with 2 personal fouls. That's Phillips, Harris, and Jeremiah Tillman. Harris in the ball game right now. Baseline high arcer, no good from Danny Hodge. Missouri can tie or regain the lead here. Robertson cut off. It's a nice dish, and Barnett to finish.
Great pass, good vision from Cassius Robertson, and a good catch from Barnett to finish.
He's averaging 3 assists a game. Missouri back even, crowd comes to life. As we approach 1 minute to play in the first half. Emporia State trying to take a lead into the locker room on the road. But Missouri now will try to go back on top. Harris's pass knocked out of bounds, and Missouri will keep it. Nice dish that last offensive possession by Cassius Robertson.
Good pass, just stays with the play, but it's more Jordan Barnett with the catch. I thought that ball from my angle was going to go out of bounds. So just sticks the left hand, quick hands. He gets the ball to the right hand, strong finish.
Missouri trying to build some momentum to take into the half. Porter quickly swung around. Porter from the corner will drive baseline, go in strong, gets his own rebound, and unable to convert.
Strong take from Jonte, just got to finish that.
Kula Chawecki, offensive foul.
Colin Van Leer is so good at that. Anytime a guard is attacking, he does a great job of getting a solid base with his feet, stays outside the restricted area, and just absorbs the contact. Such an unselfish play to take a charge, sacrifice your body.
1.4 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, and Blake Harris calls the timeout. Conzo Martin's going to draw something up here on what could be the final possession of the first half. Coming up at halftime, we've got a lot for you, including recent honor for the former legendary head coach Norm Stewart, immortalized in bronze outside of Mizzou Arena. The triumphant return of Chalk Talk with Jarrett Sutton. So we're talking two different icons, two different eras of Missouri basketball.
I like that you say the triumphant return. I appreciate that.
We'll also have your first half stats and highlights of an interesting first 20 minutes between Missouri and Emporia State. This one has not gone as scripted, has it?
It has, and it's a good timeout, too, for Konzo. You got the game tied. You haven't played necessarily well in the first half. Haven't shot it well primarily from the outside. You're seeing a zone. See if you can draw something up. Look for a screen at the high pick and roll for either Cassius Robertson coming off, trying to find either Jonte Porter posting up or Jordan Barnett for a kick out.
Van Leer, Phillips, Robertson, Porter, and Barnett on the floor for this possession for Missouri.
And a 1-3-1 for Emporia State, changing the defense.
Phillips running it down. Grant Shell not giving him an inch to work with. Now Robertson. Phillips with under 10. And a traveling violation.
Picked up that foot. It's a good call. It's right in front of an official.
So Emporia State will have a chance to take a lead into the locker room here. 10th turnover of the half by Missouri. That has not helped their cause.
It's not. And a lot of those frustration turnovers as well, just trying to do too much and get sped up.
Shell at the buzzer. We will go to the break all tied up in Como. Who would have thought this? Sean Vandevers, Emporia State Hornets, staying in it and then some on the road. Halftime from Mizzou Arena coming up next on the SEC Network. Beautiful night in Columbia, Missouri, but ugly shooting by the Missouri Tigers. 7% from three in the first half, so we're tied at 28 with Emporia State. Well, outside the arena, a beautiful new statue of the legendary head coach Norm Stewart. Here's more on Norm's Day a couple of weeks ago here in Columbia. What a day in the history of Mizzou basketball. It was Norm Stewart's day as the legendary coach with over 630 career wins at his alma mater returned home for the unveiling of his statue. Storm and Norman, immortalized in bronze by the great sculptor Harry Weber, and joined by hundreds of fans and dozens of former players, all here to share some stories, some laughs, and honor the man who flat out is Mizzou basketball.
Truly legendary, truly an amazing human being. Always passed it forward, always taught us to pass it forward, and this is a blessing to have this transpire today.
You know, it's just good to be back with the ex-players and some of my teammates and reminisce about all that Norm Stewart means to the University of Missouri, which is a lot. And it's just a time of reflection for me as I look back and just see the impact that one man can have on a university.
You know what, just tell you how the tradition that Mizzou basketball is, you know, for all these guys to come back and support Coach. And I mean, he meant a lot in all of our lives. And, you know, for a guy like myself coming from Mississippi that didn't know anything about Mizzou basketball, you know, like Doug said, Coach brought me in and, you know, he was basically like the father figure for us here.
Yeah, I've seen that post plenty of times. The only thing that's missing, I wish they could have had some papers trailing as he goes past the score table and all the papers fly up in the air. But it's a great honor for Coach to be recognized. You know, when you think of Missouri basketball, there's one name synonymous with it, and that's Coach Stewart.
Hey, you know him as good as anybody. What's he saying there?
You know, the interesting part of that is
You're choosing your words.
Well, Norm was an animated guy, right? Coach had a lot of words. You know what? That's the nice version of Norm. As a player, we didn't see the nice version. But, you know what? It's great. Great honor, great tribute.
His teams were always respected. Other teams never wanted to play us, and that's how you measure a coach's success. And with all the support that he has out here from former players today, you can tell that he left a tremendous stamp on the university and college sports.
Norm was a father figure. I grew up without a dad, and I constantly refer back to this day about lessons he taught me about life.
Conduct yourself in a positive manner, respect your religion, your family, and your university, and just be a good person.
at the end of the day, that was him. I mean, he was tough-nosed, hard-nosed, and gritty.
You know, he just taught us toughness, and, you know, we played the way that he was. It was his personality that came out in our play.
And I hope that you guys, I hope that you people will bring your grandchildren, your children, your friends, and see this and say, I helped put it there because you did.
He is a legend, Jarrett. You didn't play for him, but I'm sure you will agree with this, that Norm Stewart's legacy permeates every inch of this program.
Well, I think you said it best, Ben. You know, Norm Stewart is Missouri basketball. His name's on this floor. Now that statue will be out in front of One Champions Drive. But how about 72 of his former players back here for the Iowa State game? They were all on this floor at halftime, and you could just see the camaraderie between them and see the family that he built. And you look right here, 32 seasons, the wins, the NCAA tournaments, but it's the relationships that were made and the players that he brought here that represented this program the right way.
And the values he taught every single one of those players that, as John Brown said in that piece, he still draws upon to this day.
Absolutely. And you talk to John Sunvold about this, and he always says that he thinks about how Norm, or what Norm would say in certain situations, and that you do learn life lessons, but when you're a player, you also learn things that you're going to take with you through the rest of your life, and that's a sign of a historic basketball coach.
He is one of the greats in the history of college basketball. Norm Stewart, immortalized in bronze outside this arena. Tied at 28. More from the half coming up. Close ball game at the half, closest they come in fact. 28-28 between Missouri and Emporia State at Mizzou Arena. With the former two-time Big 12 champion Jarrett Sutton, I am Ben Arnett, and Missouri not shooting well from the outside at all. That is contributing to this tie game at the half. Yeah,
they've turned the ball over, but the 2-3 zone of Emporia State has really given Missouri problems. They're 1 of 13 from 3. Got to find a way to put the ball in the hole and then work your way in the paint and start to win over the second half.
Take a look at the highlights. Missouri's best offense has been down low. Great first half from Jeremiah Tillman.
Yeah, Tillman was good. I thought Jonte, this is a nice little floater here. They attacked the paint. They really wanted to focus getting Jeremiah Tillman the ball early, and he was productive. Stayed out of foul trouble, kept the ball high. Nice dunk there on the pass from Kevin Purrier. But then you look, and Emporia State just kept attacking. They attacked the rim, they attacked the paint. Then they worked their way outside. They knocked down 3 consecutive three-point shots. That really swung the momentum at that 10-minute mark in the first half. Really played aggressive, got the lead, and then Missouri worked their way back.
Missouri turned the ball over way too much, 10 times in the first half, in fact.
Yeah, uncharacteristic too. Just a lot of sped-up offense right here, trying to do too much. Again, when the ball isn't going in the hole against that zone, you can start to get frustrated, you can lose your confidence. And just some forced turnovers right here, just a bad foul on Jeremiah Tillman. So Missouri's got to take care of the basketball and start making the extra play in the right play.
You pointed this out to me during one of the breaks. Missouri shot 7% from beyond 3 in the first half at Utah, and they have done that again here tonight against Emporia State.
And when you say that stat, the first thing that jumps out to me is that's all mental. That's just trying to put the last shot behind you, focus in on the next possession, and again, in rhythm. That's when the three-point shots will start falling. Don't force three-point shots.
So we are tied at 28 at the half. Second half coming up in mere moments from Mizzou Arena when we return on the SEC Network. Tie ball game at the half. Second half is just moments away here at Mizzou Arena between Emporia State and Missouri. Along with Jarrett Sutton, I am Ben Arnett, and let's go back to the segment that is sweeping the nation, Chalk Talk with Jarrett Sutton. Talk about maybe some offense Missouri can get back to in the second half.
So I guess back by popular demand. So we'll talk about Missouri's offense primarily through these first 3 games, and it really starts with them wanting to get the ball inside. We touched on that earlier in this ball game, how they want to win the paint. Right here, this is just active ball movement, player movement. It's Blake Harris, the shot fake, but it's how he reads the defense. Here you see Iowa State, all 5 guys, all heads are focused on him. And he knows Jordan Barnett's behind him, so he kind of takes that turn. Barnett does a great job of cutting back door, and then it's a simple bounce pass towards the rim and let Jordan Barnett go grab it and go up and dunk it. But it's Blake Harris seeing the play before it happens. That's the sign of a true pass-first point guard, similar to Phil Pressey, a guy I played with, so the future is bright with Blake Harris.
We mentioned Missouri just 1 of 13 from beyond the arc. That's just one of several first half lows for Mizzou as they try to get back into this one, and it's kind of mirroring what happened last week in Utah.
Yeah, and when you see that, I mean, identical. The three-point shooting and the turnovers, those work hand in hand. If I'm Missouri, you got to continue to move the basketball, crisp passing, and then look for opportunities to run the floor. Make it easier on yourself. Get out in transition. Try to get an easy one. Try to get that confidence going.
And force a turnover to start the second half. Missouri with the same 5 that started the game at the beginning of the night. Barnett, Robertson, Tillman, Geist, and Puryear. As Robertson drives, kicks, rotated around, and Puryear misses the corner 3, but an offensive rebound and a foul.
Jeremiah Tillman, again, being active, using his body, using his strength. Emporia State not pushing him out of the paint. That length and that strength benefits him on the glass.
Paul, Lymel, Morton, Shell out there for Emporia State. That one just rattles out, and a foul called this time on Missouri's Kevin Puryear.
Kevin Puryear trying to go get an offensive rebound, but right there off the inbounds, good set, good crisp screening. Cassius Robertson gets open, just unable to knock it down. 2 good possessions for Missouri. Just got to see the ball go through the hole.
Thomas also out there for Emporia State to start the second half. Lymel. Now Brian Morton. Drive, little floater. Hornets back in front.
Great screen too. Able to read the screen, split the double team, and get in the paint with a soft floater. Great move.
Missouri still looking for their first basket of the second half.
And Robertson. Emporia State going back to a man-to-man defense.
Foul away from the ball. Looks like it's going to go on Hassan Thomas. Thomas at 6'8", the tallest Emporia State Hornet. To Sean Vandiver. That is his 3rd personal foul. Emery also has 3. And a foul on the inbound set will go against Lymel. So the 2 tallest Hornets who go 6'7", 6'8", both with 3 fouls.
Yeah, and that's a bad foul too right there. You're getting screened and you're just overly aggressive right in front of the official. Same play happens again. This time gets away with it.
Lymel now has 3. Baseline drive by Robertson. Taken away. Grant Shell. Dribbles off his foot. Good close defense by Barnett, forces a turnover.
Yeah, and if you're Missouri right now, you just turned the basketball over. Cassius Robertson made a bad decision, got up in the air, left his feet to pass something you don't want to do. Cardinal sin, especially when you're driving baseline. So now you got the basketball back, and you got to get a good shot. You don't want to have consecutive possessions with back-to-back turnovers. Get a good shot, work the ball, move the ball side to side.
Geist. Barnett had a little window for a moment, but Lymel closes it down. They go down low to Tillman. Nice footwork as we've seen tonight.
Yeah, there's the footwork and then the length to use that right hand and reverse layup. That's strength and able to keep his positioning. It's just lower body strength going to work.
Tillman now in double figures with 11 points. He leads all scorers. And a block, his 3rd of the night. Lymel sticks with it and puts Emporia State back on top.
Yeah, Tillman blocks the shot, but then he tried to leak out and run the floor. That was his ball to grab.
Tillman fouled again.
Tillman's activity has been great in this ball game, and look how he seals, keeps the low body, and then explosive. The low man always wins. He gets low, keeps the feet strong, and then switches to that strong right hand off the glass. Soft kiss. Good move.
Foul trouble starting to mount for Emporia State. That last one went against Thomas, and he has 4, so he goes to the bench. They bring Duncan Fort back in. Emporia State with the lead. And a foul on the drive that time by Puryear.
And it didn't take long, just a couple minutes for Emporia State to switch from man-to-man and go back to the zone. Missouri has not shot it well from the outside. Missouri's offense thus far has been trying to work the ball in the paint to Jeremiah Tillman.
5 team fouls on Emporia State in the first 2.5 minutes of this second half. Robertson for the lead. Offensive rebound, Puryear.
Kevin Puryear always playing hard, always aggressive. Good finish with the left. Got to stop the basketball.
Right back come the Emporia State Hornets, Brian Morton.
That's going to be the 4th time I think Emporia State has took the ball rim to rim and Missouri has not stopped the ball.
And another turnover. Traveling on Geist, 12th turnover tonight for Missouri.
That's a quick exit too from Jordan Geist. Got to take care of the basketball. Your guy just scored on you. In transition, you come down and turn it over. That's a compound mistake and a quick substitution.
Blake Harris came back in. He's playing with 2 fouls. Does not want to pick up his 3rd early in the second half. Nice pass.
And that can't happen either. That's an easy backdoor, no help side defense from Missouri.
Lymel to Morton. 4-point lead for the Hornets. Down low to Puryear. Another turnover. Taken right back by Barnett. Missouri with numbers. Harris to Barnett. Stripped. Porter on the floor. Emporia State comes up with it. Helter-skelter here in the second half between Missouri and Emporia State.
Missouri had a 4-on-1 and they settled for a turnover. That's bad offense.
Chance to extend the lead for Emporia State.
Got to get a foul or layup in that situation if you're Missouri.
Fort against Robertson. Right there is Porter.
All right, so if you're Missouri, you've had back-to-back possessions with turnovers. Now you're seeing the 2-3 zone. Got to take care of it.
There's Barnett for 3. In and out. Missouri 1 for 16 from beyond the arc now. Lymel to Fort. Porter with the swat. Saved by Robertson, but only for a moment. Emporia State. Good offense from Sean Vandiver's team. They have not backed down. They've taken advantage of poor shooting by Missouri. Nice passing on the other end by the Hornets. They have a 4-point lead in the second half in Como. Don't forget to visit SECnetwork.com for all the latest news and information from the Southeastern Conference. A preview of the huge Iron Bowl. Just the second time that Bama and Auburn have met, with a spot in the SEC championship game on the line, and we all remember what happened the last time, don't we?
I don't think we'll ever forget the last time that happened. What a game that was.
10th-ranked USC with a last-second win over Vanderbilt in overtime, and the men's basketball players of the week in the conference from week number 2. All that and more currently on SECnetwork.com.
Special shout-out to Barry Odom and the Missouri football team going bowling. Got a good victory against Vanderbilt. What a turnaround that football program has had. So congrats to Barry Odom and his football team.
One more regular season game for those fellas. Friday afternoon in Fayetteville, Arkansas, the Battle Line rivalry between the Tigers and the Razorbacks.
Ben, right now, if you're Missouri, you haven't had much energy in the second half. You're in your own building. You've got to find that energy. It's inside you. You've got to have the will to bring that out.
Lichowecki looking to drive on Porter. The step back, and it goes down. Everything's coming up roses for these Hornets here tonight.
And it's what we talked about at the end of the first half. With Emporia State, when they hang around, they start to believe. They start to get that confidence. Even though they're not the most athletic team on this floor, the most size, they're starting to believe, and those shots start to find a way to go in.
3 for Van Leer. Missouri needed that badly. They were 1 for 16 from beyond the arc. Van Leer's got both of their triples tonight.
Needed that badly within the offense, wide open, and he knocks it down, Colin Van Leer. For Missouri, you still can't go away from your strength, and that's throwing the ball inside, using your length and size.
Got both Tillman and Porter in the game right now. Lichowecki the miss, Porter the rebound. Harris, the floater, jammed down by Jonte.
But it's set up with the transition break by Blake Harris. Take the ball to the rim, be aggressive, and a great job by Jonte Porter staying on the offensive glass, going up and playing above the rim.
Building comes to life for really the first time tonight. And Sean Vandiver says, I don't want this momentum to build at all. Calls a timeout. Jonte Porter getting on the glass. Missouri with the height advantage. And you see it right there. 2-point game now in Columbia. 49-37, Emporia State with the lead. Jonte Porter just put a charge into this building for the first time tonight with that put-back jam. And, of course, the name is familiar to basketball fans across the country. 4 Porters on Mizzou basketball rosters this season. We've talked about Michael, once again, not in action tonight. But Jonte Porter and his sisters, Sierra and Bree, on Robin Pinchton's Missouri women's basketball team. And they've got a reputation around this country with all the great basketball they have produced over the years.
Yeah, it's a litter, but you know, Ben, we've sat in these chairs and we've watched Sierra and Bree play, so it's sort of come full circle for us. We've seen Sierra have double-doubles in this building. The talent that this Porter family has on the basketball floor speaks for itself. Obviously, we've seen it with Jonte tonight, but I urge you to come watch Sierra, come watch Bree in this women's basketball program, and the family connection as well with the Cunninghams.
2-point game. Emporia State coming out of the timeout, trying to hold their own. They've got the lead, and it's extended. Great cut to the basket, Duncan Ford to finish, and a great pass.
Defensive breakdown, no communication. Leave a wide open bucket. Can't do that. Got to protect the house.
Missouri trying to respond. Van Leer off the front of the iron.
And again, Missouri shooting a lot of three-point shots over the last few minutes. You've got to throw the ball inside or throw it to the high post, start getting attacks and get to the free throw line.
Turned over by Malik Kulecheweki. Harris has it knocked away and he's fouled.
Take a look at this last defensive possession right here. It's the baseline pass, but there's no communication from Jonte and Blake Harris. They don't switch. They both go with the same guy that leaves a wide open hole and an easy lane. That's why on defense, you never want to give up the baseline. You give up the baseline, so many opportunities present themselves. You allow yourselves to get cut as well. Right there, just a breakdown.
That last foul went against Jawan Emery for Emporia State. He had just come into the game for the first time in the second half. Right back to the bench with 4 fouls. And 16 fouls now on the Hornets. Robertson to Porter. Porter finds Tillman. He goes in strong. Unable to find the hoop, though.
He brought the ball down. Allows for smaller guards to slap at it. Got to keep that ball high.
Baseline drive right into the backboard by Jack Dale. Barnett. Rebound by Porter. And he is fouled by Kulecheweki. That will send Porter to the line. It's the 7th team foul of the half on Emporia State, so a 1-and-1 chance here.
Give Emporia State credit, too. Anytime Missouri's had any opportunity for an offensive transition break, they've done a great job of protecting the rim. Right there you have Jordan Barnett, one of Missouri's best athletes at 6'7", and you stop the ball when he's got a chance to get a Euro step to the rim.
Missouri has two fast break points tonight.
Yeah, and that's been an emphasis for this Emporia State team. They have played zone, but they've done a great job of getting back. They have not given Missouri really any sort of sign of early offense.
Porter hits them both, back to a 2-point game. And he will take a rest as Kevin Puryear comes back in. Reed Nico also into the game for the first time in the second half, replacing Jeremiah Tillman. Hanzo Martin's used 10 players tonight.
And I'm okay with that. You got young guys that got to grow up and got to learn on the floor.
Poked away by Nico, almost stolen. Jack Dale, the drive, right into Nico, tied up, and they call a foul on the sophomore.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a foul. Good hands from Nico, staying solid. Take a look at the replay here. I think that's active hands. I think that's a tie-up. Tough call on Nico.
It's the 2nd team foul of the half on Hanzo Martin's squad. 20 on the shot clock, reset for Emporia State. Fort. Kulecheweki. Jack Dale. And an illegal screen.
It's a good call. Shuffle your feet. Don't set a illegal screen right in front of an official. Good defensive stand there.
That's frowned upon?
That's frowned upon. Good defensive stand, though, for Missouri. Got a couple consecutive stops, but got to convert on the offensive end.
Under 12 and a half to play in the second half. Missouri can tie or take the lead. Harris. Robertson, 15 to shoot. Trying to get it to Nico, but they just can't find an opening. Harris the drive and draws a foul on Malik Kulecheweki.
And on that possession, the ball goes from Robertson to Blake Harris, back and forth, side to side. They never get the ball to the high post. You got Purrier and Nico that have mostly on the blocks. Nobody really owning that top of the key into the block. You can work your way out towards the top of the key, but you really want to make yourself available at the free throw line. That's how you beat a zone. Hit the high post, hit the elbow, and then look opposite. Better opportunity to drive as well off the kick and side screen.
1 for 2 at the line, but an offensive rebound. Robertson, Van Leer. One-on-one chance for Nico. And he will go to the foul line. 10th team foul already on Emporia State. So Missouri will shoot 2 the rest of the way.
And when you say 10 team fouls already, that means go to the rim. Be aggressive. Reed Nico does that right there. Good post-entry passing. Nico's earned himself good minutes. Had 8 points and 9 rebounds on 4 of 6 shooting on Thursday at Utah. So he's playing well, really well, and he's got to make those. Those free throws important for him.
Duncan Fort just picked up his 4th foul, so he goes to the bench. 3 different Hornets with 4 fouls, Fort, Thomas, and Emery. Lime will just check back in. He's got 3, so he needs to be careful.
And if you're Missouri, right now 41-41 at the 12-minute mark of the second half. You got 10 fouls. You're in the double bonus. Attack, attack, attack.
All tied up. Emporia State has not trailed here in the second half. Hodge left his feet, had nowhere to go, gives it up. Long 3, no good. And that's a silly foul by Lymel. That's his 4th.
And it's a great block out from Cassius Robinson. Set his feet strong.
Takes us to another break. 11:41 to go in the second half. All knotted up in Columbia. Tied at 41, second half. A correction. That foul right before we went to break is actually on Missouri's Cassius Robertson. And here's a look.
And Cassius Robertson right here just trying to block out. Good defensive low block positioning. I don't see where that's a foul. It's a fundamental block out. I was surprised they changed the call, actually.
Lymel thought it was on him right away, and that would have been costly, as I mentioned, would have been his 4th. Instead, he's still got 3.
And I think everyone on the floor thought it was on him as well.
Just the 3rd team foul on Missouri in the second half as Sean Vandiver's Emporia State Hornets continue to stay with Missouri step for step.
They haven't really shot it primarily all that well from 3 either, just 28%. But they've continued to attack, and they've done a great job protecting the rim and limiting the Missouri to just 2 transition fast break points.
Hornets have not trailed since the 5:20 mark of the first half. They've had the lead for almost 15 minutes of clock time in this game.
And they've played with no fear either.
Lymel, no good. And that one is going to go against Emporia State. It's going to go on Lymel. Missouri, this is one of what will probably be many trips to the foul line here in the final 11-18.
Missouri just 9 of 16 from the free throw line thus far. But this is where they're going to win the game at tonight. Got to convert at the line. 3 C's: comfortable, confident, consistent. Got to keep telling yourself that and go through your routines.
Officials are going to the monitor. I think I know what this is. They called in the arena a foul on number 11, Grant Shell. Shell's not on the floor. I think they meant to say number 1, Lymel, who was right there. And this is where they just get together and make the correction. Now they announce it properly in the arena. And that is the 4th foul on Lymel. Van Leer, uncharacteristically, 0 for the line tonight. And you see the foul trouble piling up for Emporia State. Thomas, Emery, Fort, and now Lymel all with 4 fouls. And that's Emporia State's size, what little they have right there, all in foul trouble.
Yeah, and you notice Conzo Martin making a substitution, bringing Jeremiah Tillman right back into the ball game. You can expect him to try to get some touches as Van Leer misses another free throw.
Well, when was the last time Cullen Van Leer was 0 for 4 at the foul line?
There's been a lid on this rim all night for Missouri.
Part of a strange evening. Still tied up at 41. Brandon Hall, high arcer, out of the bucket. Been nearly 3 minutes since Emporia State scored. Been over 3 minutes since Missouri scored. Harris trying to change that. Dumps it off and dunked down by Tillman.
It's the chop tuck play, Ben. The drive from Blake Harris, the vision to see the play, and a beautiful drop-off pass to Tillman for the dunk.
Missouri on top for the first time in the second half. Can they sustain it? Emporia State has responded to every single jab that Missouri has thrown. Malik Huachalecki gives it up, and Hall has it with under 10 to shoot. Brandon Hall driving, kicking, out of bounds.
Great pressure. As we take a look at the pass from Blake Harris here to Jeremiah Tillman, this kid's going to be really special. Quick feet, sees the play happening, look off the defender, easy, quick drop-off pass to Tillman for the dunk. And again, it's Missouri attacking. Don't settle for jump shots. Right there, it would have been easy for Blake to shoot a wide open three. He penetrates the lane and makes a good pass.
Van Leer across to Robertson. Missouri staying away from those three-point shots that they have struggled with tonight. Under 10 minutes to play and under 10 on the shot clock. Harris, drive, floater. Offensive board, Puryear swatted by Huachalecki. Tillman draws the foul. That's Tillman's first miss tonight, but he'll go to the strike.
Blake Harris is just such a dynamic passer and weapon. He's a true pass-first point guard. I love his game. I love his ability to read off defenses. He's talking with Konzo Martin, and Konzo's been hard on him. Not just in preseason practice, but early on this season. You've seen Konzo sub him in, sub him out, really coaching him up because he is going to be the point guard of this basketball team. There's no doubt about it. He is such a good weapon, not just on the offensive end, but then we talk about his foot speed defensively. Just a great athlete.
Tillman misses them both. He's 1 for 4 at the line. Missouri is now 9 for 20 as a team.
It's all mental, too. Start thinking too much. Not their night.
Brian Morton drives, draws the foul. He will go to the line.
Missouri's primarily played man-to-man defense in the second half. They've done a really good job at switching ball screens, keeping everybody in front, not giving up straight line drives as many as they did. Looks like we got a double technical possibly coming up.
Jeremiah Tillman in the middle of this. Stephon Lymel. Tillman with 2 fouls in the first half, but yet to commit one in the second. Yep.
It's a veteran move, too, from Cassius Robertson coming over, keeping the young guy under control.
We just announced the matching fouls. Hall for Emporia State, Tillman for Missouri. Double technicals. That'll be the first on Hall.
In this type of game, no reason to lose your cool. Playing a good basketball game, stayed out of foul trouble. Don't want to get caught picking up a cheap one just talking.
Emporia State heading to the line on the original foul. Let's see if we can see what happened here.
There's something said right there.
You could see Cassius Robertson trying to keep the freshman in the huddle. Nothing good can come from leaving your huddle in a situation like that.
And the first person I look to is Cassius Robertson. He's standing right next to him. He's a senior, and he just shakes his head. Because why do that? You don't need to do that. It's just a young freshman mistake.
So now Tillman has 3 as he and Puryear go to the bench, replaced by Porter and Nico. Both free throws good, and we are all knotted up once again.
Emporia State just hanging around.
Morton's got 14 points now to lead the Hornets. He leads all scorers, in fact. Robertson down low to Porter. Up and under. Nico, an offensive rebound. And one.
It's a strong finish from Reed Nico. That's the development process, the strength he's put on. Kept the ball, chinned it, and finishes had someone hanging on his arm. I'd like to see Jonte go up stronger, tries to reverse it, but look at the finish. Hanging on the left arm, soft touch, get it on the rim, let it bounce around and drop. Great finish.
And some emotion from the big fella.
I'll take that.
He's got to be feeling good. You know, he had double hip surgery in high school before he ever played a game at Missouri. He played last year, but he wasn't quite 100%, wasn't quite right. He's got to be feeling better this season.
And, you know, he's coming in as a sub, and he's coming off the bench, but he's given them great minutes. He gave them great minutes at Utah, giving them great minutes tonight, focusing on the defensive end, and when he gets those opportunities around the rim, he knows he's going to go to the free throw line, he's going to get fouled, he's a big guy, but be strong around the rim, go up, have that emotion. I love seeing that out of Reed Nickel.
Missouri a 3-point lead now. The drive, the finish off glass from Morton.
Tough finish and a great heads-up instinct play to get it off the glass ahead of the block from Jonte.
Nico again. Bucket and one again.
And guess who? Blake Harris. He sets up the play. Early offense, transition, push the basketball. You have great speed. He gets ahead of the pack, downhill, finds Nico, and he keeps it strong, and again, soft off the rim.
He had 8 and 9 against Utah last time out. A chance for back-to-back 3-point plays. In and out, and a foul coming on Porter. Take another look at this setup by Blake Harris.
And the speed, quick crossover, hard to get in front of him, and then the vision to find Nico cutting. Always looking up, always keeping his eyes up, always looking in opposite direction, almost like he has eyes in the back of his head, always trying to find someone cut, and he finds Nico there. It reminds me so much of Phil Pressey, Ben. Anytime you played with Phil Pressey, you always had to have your eyes on him because you didn't know when he was going to find you. He always could find a shooter, he could find someone rolling, he could find someone cutting, and he just had a great strength and ability, natural ability to pass.
Hall against Porter. That's a size mismatch, and Porter comes up with the block. Harris again, that speed, finds Jonte Porter.
Downhill, attack and pass, great finish.
Jonte Porter now with 9. Crowd staying in it. Kulacheweki fouled on the drive by Barnett.
Jonte Porter is such a great shot blocker, rim protector. We've seen it through the first 4 games. But Blake Harris again looking off the defense. No look pass, under control. Fast with the ball, but not out of control. And he makes a great pass to Jonte.
Harris with 3 assists. Jonte Porter 9-7. And the 3 blocks. That was the 7th team foul on Missouri, so a 1-and-1 here for Malik Kulacheweki. And he'll get a second free throw.
And that's Blake Harris as a freshman understanding his role. He knows when he's in the game, he's got to have active on-ball pressure defensively. And when the opportunity presents himself, he is so fast. Transition breaks are going to be when he's at his best. Looking ahead, passing off defenders, making that extra pass, setting up his teammates for buckets.
He looks like he wants to be in charge when he's handling the basketball.
Absolutely. He demands the ball, but also he's not looking to score. Yes, he can score. He can get to the rim and finish, but he wants to set everybody else up. That's a weapon to have when you have a pass-first point guard.
Harris, drive, Nico, out to Robertson. High rebound, skying for it is Barnett, and he draws a foul. This one remains close. Missouri has regained the lead, but Emporia State is staying oh so close. Young Tiger fans enjoying this. Missouri has taken the lead in the second half. 3 assists tonight for the freshman point guard Blake Harris, and they have all been pretty.
Yeah, a point guard is like a quarterback. They make the engine go, and Blake Harris has brought that in this second half. Eyes are up, the ability to look off defenses and put the ball right where the offensive player wants it. Drop-off passes to Tillman, to Porter. He's done a great job of attacking early offense on the transition break, especially when Missouri has struggled shooting the ball from the outside and only had 2 transition points in the first half. Getting more easy opportunities at the rim. Blake Harris done a great job.
Funny you say quarterback. Blake Harris, the son of the former 9-year NFL veteran Bernardo Harris, won a Super Bowl ring with the Green Bay Packers, but he was on the defensive side of the football. His son is quarterbacking this Mizzou team.
That's why Blake wears the 55, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, Blake is such a special player. What I love about him is he wants to guard. He has the desire to guard. As a freshman, that's tough. And then for freshmen, it's so hard to move without the basketball. That's the biggest adjustment you make to the college game. Blake is so good at moving without the ball, but then he's so good at facilitating and distributing the basketball and making the extra play.
Jordan Barnett with a pair of free throws here coming back from the break. Missouri has extended this lead now. 5-point advantage. That's their largest lead of the second half.
Jordan Barnett has to make his presence felt over the last 7 minutes. Just 4 points. He attacked the glass, got an offensive rebound. He's got to be more aggressive and more assertive on the offensive end.
Traveling that time on Duncan Fort. That turns it over. Harris. Around the screen from Porter. All kind of stuck on the perimeter here from Missouri this possession. Now they go down low to Jonte Porter. Passes out of the double team. Robertson from the corner. Boy, Missouri a dreadful 2 for 20 now from beyond the arc.
Good ball movement too, but Robertson just hasn't seen the ball go down. Really struggling shooting from the outside.
He personally is 0 for 6 from 3, but an offensive foul that time on Hassan Thomas, and that is his 5th foul.
Yeah. And that's a senior play from Cassius Robertson. Just knows that the shoulder's going to come, just absorb the contact and take the charge. It's a veteran play.
So to the bench goes Hassan Thomas. Came into the game averaging 10 points per contest, only 3 tonight. Very limited due to the foul trouble. He exits the game with 6:57 to play.
Then right now when you look at the lineup Missouri has on the floor, you got Blake Harris at the point, you got Cassius Robertson at the 2, and you got Jordan Barnett at the 3. Those are 3 guys that can change this game, like making shots, attacking, and getting the ball to the rim.
Robertson feeding Kevin Puryear. Double teamed, in trouble. Passes out of it. Robertson, the drive and kick. Harris with 10 to shoot. And jostling down low, a foul is going to be called on Emporia State. That goes against Brandon Hall as he was trying to guard Kevin Puryear.
That's a bad foul too on Brandon Hall. 10 seconds on the shot clock. You've played really good defense. You've kept the ball out of the paint. You doubled Kevin Puryear, but you pick up a cheap foul trying to wrestle for position.
Hall with just 2 points tonight, came into the game averaging 20, and he was giving up 8 inches to Puryear on that last play.
And this is where Missouri's going to win this basketball game tonight, if they can convert at the free throw line.
Struggled at the line in the first half. Second half now they're 9 for 16. Under 6.5 to play. Morton drives, gets it off glass.
That's a tough finish too. You got Jonte Porter with that length. What a pass.
Missouri turns it over on the other end, so the window remains open here for Emporia State. They trail by just 5.
It's a good idea too from Blake Harris. Just a tough, tight window. Puryear couldn't handle it.
Lymel, Vulichowecki, Hall. All one-on-one with Puryear. Drives and kicks. Vulichowecki for 3, and the rebound for Porter. 8th rebound tonight for Porter. That leads Missouri. Harris for Jonte Porter. Now Puryear. 1 bounce and rejected. Hall's got a 2-on-1 with Morton, but it's stolen, knocked away by Harris.
Blake Harris was the last guy down the floor on the offensive end. He beat everybody back. Full speed ahead. Again, that's a point guard understanding the game. Understands it's a transition, sees the guard, the wing ahead, and goes full speed and deflects the pass. That's a great effort from a freshman.
Takes a basket away from Emporia State. If Missouri can get a stop defensively, what a play that would be by Harris. Morton. Hall now late in the shot clock. Harris guarding him. Pulls up, long 2. Rebound by Puryear. We approach the 5-minute mark. Puryear goes to work. Tries to go up and under. Gets it back and scores.
Heads up play by Puryear, staying with the play. Fortunate it didn't get stolen. Active hands from Emporia State. They've done a great job. Anytime that ball goes under the elbows towards the knees of a Ford or Missouri player with that length, it's an easy steal.
Hall for 3. Rebound by Limo. Good pass, but Ford couldn't handle it. They reset. Malik Kulachowecki. Baseline drive. Created.
A couple really tough finishes, especially Jonte Porter nearing a block shot. But a soft kiss off the glass. Emporia State still very much in this game.
Missouri's largest lead is 8. That was way back in the first half. Robertson into the paint. Can't finish, but draws a foul. So it's a 5-point game.
This is a terrific finish right here off the bounce. Kulachowecki just doing a great job with the body control and the balance, switching hands mid-air. Anytime a shot blocker's coming, they're looking for the dominant hand. He switches hands and kisses it off the glass. Great offense.
Free throw good for Robertson. He's 2 for 3 at the line tonight as Jeremiah Tillman re-enters the game for Kevin Puryear. Cullen Van Leer replaces Blake Harris, who got a nice round of applause for his play. Offensive board, Porter goes right in there. Can't score.
It's a strong move, but he's just got to slow himself down. He had a couple of those in the first half where he makes a strong, aggressive move, but he's got to slow himself down once he gets to the rim. Go up and dunk the basketball as well, trying to use the glass too much.
Brian Morton, under 4 minutes to go, pulls up straight away and got it.
It's a big shot. That's a contested shot too. Jeremiah Tillman was out there on the hard hedge.
Van Leer. Robertson now. Trying to find Tillman. Tillman, strong, no good, but Porter is there with the stick back. Nope, wave it off, offensive foul.
They might get Jeremiah Tillman on this. I'm not sure if it was Jonte, and they will get Tillman.
And that's his 4th. And that'll take us to break. The Emporia State Hornets are not going anywhere. Using the 3 to stay in this one. It is a 1-possession game in Como with under 3.5 minutes to play. Three-point game. Emporia State will have the ball when we get going here. I'm going to show you how Jeremiah Tillman just picked up his 4th personal foul.
Yeah, Jeremiah Tillman, first of all, he catches the ball on the low block. He's in the paint. And right here, I'd like to see him drop step, keep the ball high, and then go dunk it or go to a right-hand baby hook. Instead, he tries to scoop it. Not a high percentage shot. And then right here just gets lazy. He throws that left arm. He's trying to create space, but that's an easy call right there in front of the official. You take away 2 points for Jonte Porter.
He is the lone Missouri Tiger with 4 fouls. Emporia State has foul trouble all over the place, including Hassan Thomas, who's already fouled out.
And right here, this is the winning period. You're under your 4-minute timeout. You got 3 minutes, 27 seconds. Which team is going to limit mistakes and execute on both ends of the floor and make free throws? All of that is going to play a part during this last stretch.
How big of a foul is that on Tillman? Because Porter had the stick back. You wipe those 2 points off the board and now give Emporia State a chance to tie the game with a 3-pointer. But they turn it over on the travel by Duncan Ford.
Back to Jeremiah Tillman, too. He picked up the technical foul. That was a foul that he didn't need to have. Well, he didn't need to have the push-off with the left elbow either. So that's 2 fouls that he can have back if he just makes a better decision.
16 turnovers now by Emporia State. Mizzou has 18. Blake Harris back in the game. Missouri's had their best offense in the second half with Harris running the point, haven't they?
Absolutely. And Emporia State's going back to the 2-3 zone, but they're putting ball pressure on Blake Harris, extending the zone.
Nico, triple team. He handles it just fine.
Beautiful footwork. Great stuff. Catches on the low block. And just a drop step, splits the double team and goes up strong. Reed Nico's been giving Missouri great minutes over the last couple ball games.
8 points. And solid off the bench for Mizzou all year. Harris with the steal.
Competing and fighting. Scrappy Blake Harris on the defensive end.
and goes coast to coast.
Again, he can finish and go to the rim right there. That's just the defense knowing that Blake Harris is a pass-first point guard. He takes the opportunity to go straight to the rim, coast to coast. Great back-to-back possessions for Blake Harris.
And savvy from the freshman. He was watching his back the whole way up the floor there to make sure he didn't get his pocket picked from behind. Rebound and stick back for Duncan Fort. That's a much-needed response for Emporia State.
Jonte's going to be kicking himself for Missouri. That was his rebound. He just left the play.
Harris again to the hoop. I got caught underneath there. This is a big possession for Emporia State. 3. Good.
Quick shot in transition. Emporia State knew they had numbers, and they make Missouri pay. Big-time three-point shot.
2-point game with under 2 minutes to play. And a timeout called by Conzo Martin.
Good timeout here from Conzo Martin. Settle your team down. You got 1:30 left. You're up 2. Blake Harris, that's a learning adjustment right there. He's been great in this ball game. You can see right here, look at the defensive play to get the position around. He's a smaller defender, right? He beats the forward to the spot, goes and gets the steal, and then takes what the defense gives him, knows he can break down the defender, crosses over coast to coast, and a great finish.
Response here from Emporia State.
Yeah, early offense in transition. That's a big-time shot, too. Defensive help side was coming back with Blake Harris. You can see he's a little winded as well. You're talking about late in the game, who's going to make plays late. That's a big three-point shot to keep you in the game.
6-3 tonight for Emporia State. Missouri's, we've talked about, they've had a rough night from beyond the arc, just 2 for 20. Emporia State isn't exactly lighting it up. They're 32% from 3, but they're doing just enough.
And they've only got to the free throw line 12 times. Missouri shot 28 free throws, but Missouri's 54% from the free throw line. So Missouri's not took advantage of the stripe. They've not shoot it well from 3 as well.
Foul trouble is mounting for Emporia State. I mentioned this a moment ago. Thomas has already fouled out, and Emery, Fort, Lymel, and Hulacheweki all have 4, along with Morton.
Yeah, that's foul trouble for Emporia State, but you got 1:30 to go. You want to stay aggressive. You want to play smart. And for Missouri, they're going to look to get the ball inside. That's their main offense. They want to attack. They want to look for either Jonte Porter or try to get even Jordan Barnett going, but expect a 2-3 zone from Emporia State. They've sat in that zone in the second half because Missouri's not shot the ball well and not shot him out of it, but they've also had this foul trouble.
90 seconds to decide this one, and a foul immediately by Grant Shell. He just hit the 3 a moment ago. And with Missouri long ago in the double bonus, Cassius Robertson will shoot 2.
That's a bang-bang call, too, because Cassius Robertson caught the ball and tried to create room with his elbows. Dangerous play. Could have gone the opposite way as well.
Robertson with a critical free throw from Missouri. For Shell, that's his 3rd personal.
And Robertson hasn't shot it well. 0 for 8 from the field and 0 of 6 from 3.
Offensive rebound, huge play there. Puryear, battled by Shell. He's able to get it out, and Missouri can set the offense. 3-point game.
It's a big offensive rebound, big play in this game.
Missouri has dominated the offensive glass, as you see there. Robertson, the senior, running things. Van Leer to Porter. Baseline, drive, took his time and scores.
That's a much better play. Again, a good spin move, great footwork. Jonte's so skilled, but he slowed himself down at the rim. He shot fake, went up strong, and finished. Great move.
All right, under a minute, crowd on its feet. Hornets have answered all night. What do they have here, down by 5? Danny Hodge, yep.
Wow. Can't go under the ball screen, and the confidence to knock it down from 3. Big shot from Hodge.
Emporia State playing with a flair of like, hey, we got a 3.5 bus ride, 3.5-hour bus ride either way. We might as well win this thing. They got a chance to tie or take the lead.
That's not a good shot from Cassius Robertson here, senior.
Shell, the drive, blocked by Porter. And Emporia State will have to foul now, and they do with 24.3 seconds left.
Missouri's so fortunate. Cassius Robertson went down, took a bad shot trying to attack the rim. How about this 3-point shot right here from Danny Hodge? Screen, Cassius goes under. Not a hard hedge, not a hard enough hedge from Jonte Porter. And then you look here, the block from Jonte. He is so good at deflecting passes, uses those long arms, and a huge defensive stop right there.
Robertson connects on the free throw. That's the 3rd block by Jonte Porter, and it came at a huge spot for Missouri.
It's such a strength and such a weapon when you have a guy at his size at the rim, especially with him and Jeremiah, protecting and able to block shots and not foul.
Critical free throws, Missouri by 4. Still some time for Emporia State, but they better hurry up. Under 20 seconds to play now.
Yeah, they got to hurry and they got to attack the rim. They don't need a three-point shot. They can go attack.
They need one now as we approach 10 seconds. Shell driving, missed it, and that'll wrap it up for Missouri.
Great defensive possession right there. Kevin Purrier moving his feet, not fouling, contesting the shot, and then the senior Cassius Robertson with a great block out and able to rebound the basketball.
So Robertson will go to the stripe. Missouri just 56% from the line tonight. Robertson is 5 for 8 and just coolly hit a couple to make this a 4-point lead. And now 5.
It's been an ugly night for Missouri shooting the basketball. They have really struggled. They've really been bothered by the zone, but they're finding a way to pull out a win at home.
Offensive rebound. That's a fitting way for this one to end, as good as Missouri was on the offensive glass. And the final moments tick away. Missouri and Conzo Martin survive.
What a battle from Emporia State. Gave Missouri all they could handle tonight at Mizzou Arena, and Conzo Martin fortunate to get their 3rd win coming back from the loss at Utah. Good win for Missouri.
So for Jarrett Sutton, I'm Ben Arnett saying so long from Columbia, where the Missouri Tigers outlast the Emporia State Hornets 67-62. Our next broadcast will be Thursday at 11:30 a.m. on ESPN2 as the Missouri Tigers open the Advocare Invitational down in Orlando, Florida. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.